Well, this morning, a couple is beginning their new lives as husband and wife. But when their families got together this weekend, they celebrated both the future and a life-changing moment 20 years ago. Lee Woodruff shows us how a police officer's quick thinking back then allowed the bride to see her big day come true. Lee, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Well, Captain Joseph Barca has been on the Yonkers police force for 45 years. In that time, he's saved over a dozen lives and helped rescue victims trapped at Ground Zero. But it was one rescue of a small baby that this cop says is the highlight of his career. At a Chicago park on Saturday, the Hamida and Salah families had everything. Great food, games for the kids. Some relatives traveled as far as the West Bank to attend the wedding weekend. But the honored guests, Joe Barca and his wife, drove from New York to see the young bride, Shamila Hamida. You have your family here for a barbecue. How does your family treat Joe when they see him?
They love him. They're excited to see him. Everybody is like, they couldn't wait for this day just so we can see him and his wife, Helen.
He's really more than a guest of honor.
Oh yeah, he's like a second father. He's not just a friend or a hero, he's family.
It was December 1993 when Sergeant Barca responded to a call at this house.
A radio call came in of a child not breathing.
Shamila's older brothers, Ahmed and Ali, remember the day in vivid detail.
I remember my mom yelling on top of her lungs for my father, Shema, Shema, Shema. She's not breathing, she's choking, lifeless.
Took the child from the parents, checked for vital signs, found none. I jumped into the back seat of the car with the baby, still doing CPR for the ride to the hospital.
By the time they arrived, her throat was cleared. Her heart began beating again. Baby Shema was breathing on her own.
Her dad expecting to hear the worst from me, and I said to him, "Do you hear that baby crying?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's your baby crying." And he just broke down from there.
Bahia Hamida is Shema's mother. Can you still remember that day?
Yeah. When I remember, I cry. I cry.
But at least it's happy tears now.
Yeah, thank God. And thank for him too.
Joe and Helen never lost touch with the Hamidas. After the family moved to Buffalo, they treat Shema like a daughter.
Every year, they've never missed my birthday. And for Christmas, they always send a card and a check and a letter, and they're just so sweet. It's a thought that counts, really.
What did you think when you got the news of Shema's wedding?
I said, "Not my little baby. Of course I'll be there."
Yesterday, Joe honored that promise to see her walk down the aisle. As a policeman, you've seen good and bad. Where does this one rank, this story?
Oh, this one ranks up on top, and I go out there for a reason, and the reason is to help people.
It makes me want to save people's lives the way he saved my life. Maybe I can be in people's lives 20 years later, just as he was. She might get that chance. She recently graduated from nursing school, and Joe and Helen Barca have 3 grown sons, a teacher and 2 police officers in Yonkers, just like their dad. Joe plans to retire next year after 45 years on the force, and he looks forward to spending time with his wife and grandkids.
A wonderful story.
The week just started. Already have my favorite story of the week.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
To see them all together, just the love that they have for one another. They've had each other over for dinner over the 23 years, and even though she moved and the family moved to Buffalo,
I love that he writes her cards and sends her checks.
cards and just checks in with her. She's the daughter they never had.
Right. And she's going into public service because of this.
She's going into nursing, 2 brothers in nursing as well. They all say it was this incident that really drove what they wanted to do with their lives.
I'll take you back to Buffalo. We can do a follow-up.
All right, let's talk to Bon Jovi, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't mention that word. Words.
Thank you, Lee.